Last week, one of the major news that got so many people concerned and talking is actually the death sentence of Sunday Jackson. I don't know, but it is one of the things that goes to show that Nigeria, like one of my friends in the US, will say that sometimes Nigerians want to compare the Nigerian system with their system, as if the US system is even working that perfectly well. But she always say that the thing is that there is a system in the USA that's not really functioning well, but in Nigeria there is no system at all. So in retrospective, if there is no system at all in Nigeria, that means there is no country. It's not like this is the first time I've made this statement, and it's not like I'm the first person that is saying these things, but Nigerians are actually in a state of confusion. Many of them, especially like the religious one, that like up to 70-80% of the population, they are very, very confused because their religious belief does not in any way state what someone is going to do if they find themselves in this kind of situation where you are like you have politicians or leaders that you are not the one that actually appointed them to lead you, and they're actually making life hell for you. So none of this religious belief or books or stuff stated what to be done in this situation. It is more or less like during the time of slavery where uh, where a slave is beaten, the wife raped, and the master of this slave is treating him or her unjustly, and then boy is telling this slave to actually embrace a just God by reading a Bible, and then through reading that Bible, the slave will also see in the Bible where he's actually advised not to, disrespect or fight back at his master. So at that point, the slave is actually confused. That's the same thing that's happening to Nigeria. So extending it, it might not sound palatable, but Nigerians are actually slaves in their own land. That's actually the difference here. They are in their own land, but they are slaves because they are confused. They don't know how to actually remove leaders that they didn't appoint, and so they are like helpless, confused, chaotic relationship, like toxic relationship where they don't even know what to do. Going front, they can't. Going back, they can't. But anyways, so talking about Sunday Jackson, Sunday Jackson was sentenced to death because uh an S-men attacked him in his farm and they managed to like overpower the headman and kind of kill the headman. So he was sentenced to death because the judge in charge of the case like ruled it as murder. So everybody have been saying like they are shocked and stuff. To also reiterate that Nigerians don't really know that they don't have a country because they don't even know the constitution or the law which is actually governing them. Because if they know, they understand that those things don't make sense. So even to a simple child like 12 years or 14 that can talk and reason, it doesn't make sense. But they don't know those things. So Timi Abaje, I don't even know if I called the name well, but he tried to explain that if maybe an armed robber, okay, I think someone tweeted about if an armed robber attacks you and kind of overpower and kill the armed robber, so you acted in self-defense, but now they're saying like committed murder. So Timi Abaje was trying to clear the air, saying that if an armed robber attacks you and you overpower them, at the moment when you are holding the gun and you shoot the person, at that very particular moment, you are not acting in self-defense, but it's a kind of his murder. So I'm going to be putting some comments on the screen. Some person are saying both the person that made the law and the person that interpreted the law, like they should be shot. So the person and the lawyer are working like hand in hand. And I'm just laughing anyways. Some person are attacking Timi Abaje, just actually interpreting the Nigerian constitution, the Nigerian law, just for people to see that it doesn't make sense. Major ethnic nations in Nigeria have their indigenous rules and ways of governing themselves. But kind of loud, self-defense is as natural as like the way you breathe. For people that have idea on biology, they know that this thing called adrenaline. So if you are in a situation like kind of maybe in a situation where like a robber enters your room, there's only two things that come in your mind. Either you fight or you flee. So like there's two things. So most times you can't even flee because the person is in your room. There's no other place to fly to, or would I say run to. Even if you try, they might shoot you at the back. So if you summon courage to or challenge someone with a gun, for some persons that have been in situation where they have been robbed or they have been harassed with someone with a gun and stuff like that, you know that it takes a very strong mental capacity for you to even stand and look at someone with a gun to like, especially when, because once a robber enters your house, no matter if you're giving your life to Jesus at that particular point, your life is actually in their hand. And then somehow you kind of maneuver and then you kill them, and somebody was saying you can actually try to shoot them at the leg. I say, who thinks in a situation where there's like death, a life or death situation, who even think straight? But it's not like the only thing I'm saying is the fact that it's actually showing the loophole in the fact that Nigeria as an entity is non-existing. So that's why there's no country, there's no law, there's no constitution that makes sense, even to the realistic things, like the way things happen, and stuff like this. Because when you meet an Igbo man, they tell you how they deal with things when it comes to maybe someone trying to kill someone and the person overpowers them and stuff. Every other ethnic nation in Nigeria, Hausa, Yoruba, the Joy, Gala have theirs and stuff like that. So, but yeah, yeah, a man is being sentenced to death for the fact that he overpowered someone that wanted to kill the person. And funny enough, this is not the first time that person that tried to kill him have been killing people. More or less, like for like up to 12 years or 15 years now, going on in Nigeria, like Fulani men have been killing people like unabated across many places. Nobody been talking about it, like just shoot people all here and there. And no single one of them has actually been caught and brought to book. But it's actually appropriate for someone to overpower someone that wants to kill them in their farm and the person is charged for murder.